surrounding you. And part of my job that I think is one of my favorite parts of my job is I get to meet some pretty awesome people who have pretty awesome stories of how God has worked in their lives. And I want you all to meet one of those awesome people who I've had the privilege and blessing to meet over these past couple of years. And her name is Anna King, and I would love for her, let's hear it for her. I'd love for her to share with you a little bit. First of all, just tell us who you are, a little bit about yourself.
Hi, my name is Anna King. I'm in 7th grade. I go to Candeo, North Scottsdale, and I'm really involved at church and at Northridge. I sing at youth group and with the band, and I really like to do competitive swimming. And I have an older sister named Bella and a younger brother, Joshua.
Awesome. And Anna, if you don't mind, can you tell us a little bit about the bumpy journey that your family has been on these past 3 years?
Yeah, so about at the end of 5th grade, my dad started to not feel so well, and he started to stay inside a lot, never get out of bed, and just always be really sick. And it started to get us worried. And then 6th grade, around spring break, we took him to the ER, and things weren't so good and were turning for the worse. And he was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer. As his cancer got worse, he would just sit in the living room or in his pull-out chair and sleep and do nothing. I always wanted to help him, but deep down inside, I knew I couldn't do much to help solve the problem or heal any of the cancer, and I was feeling sad and empty and helpless. And my mom always knew that we had to keep going to church and try to stay happy and positive. So every night we would do a devotional thing with my family, with me, my mom, and my sister at night. And we would check on us every now and then to see how we're feeling, but still we were all very sad inside, and we just knew that we had to go with it together. And then after a long battle on April 1st, 2021, he passed away at home. And I used to ask, why God, why did you let this happen? But I knew that God used him to bring other people to him, because he was very involved at church, and he spoke at Shea and for youth group and for many people, and I realized that he did this so then more people could go to heaven, not just my burden and our loss brought other people to him, and it was all so worth it.
Thanks, Anna. I think that's a beautiful perspective. And John is one of my heroes currently, and I think it runs in the family because Anna is one of my heroes too. And so, Anna, can you tell us a little bit why Jesus is so important to you and what he did for us on the cross?
Well, what Jesus did is very important to me, because when he passed away, I was well, I'm never going to see him again. I'm never going to be able to hang out with him. I won't be having that figure in my life anymore. But then I realized, and I started thinking about it, that this is not the end. I'm going to see him again. We are going to see him again. And I realize now this is a very happy thing now, and that I should be grateful and forever loved by my family, that now so many people can go to heaven and have a blast up there. Yeah.
And something that we had kind of fun doing a little while back over ice cream is just kind of daydreaming about what he's doing up there. Do you want to share what you think?
Yeah, so I always thought he was a very smart guy. So he would either be fixing something or doing math, or he loved baseball. He might be playing baseball, or they're having a party and singing and worshiping, and because he loved to play the guitar, and so they're probably having a blast right now and just singing and worshiping God.
That's beautiful, isn't it? I think 3 days after John went to go see Jesus, 3 days later, Anna got up on the stage, and it was Easter, and she sang about about heaven and the hope that we have because of Jesus. And I told you that she's one of my heroes, and she's one of my heroes for a reason, and I think probably a lot of you can understand why. So what I'd love to do is I'd love to just pray before we move into the next song. And I think we all are reminded through Anna and her courage and bravery sharing today of God's faithfulness. God's faithfulness in the good times, but also the harder times in life. And so I'd love to, actually, Anna, would you like to pray? Or would you want me to?
Can you pray?
I'll pray. Let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much just for this opportunity. Lord, thank you for the courage of Anna being such a strong 7th grade girl. And Lord, I thank you for your son Jesus and what he did on the cross thousands of years ago, so that we could spend eternity with you. And Lord, so that we could be assured that death is not the end, but it's just a door into your heavenly kingdom. And Lord, I share that with Anna and with everybody else in this room about how heaven is going to be the greatest reunion of all time, where we're going to be able to see your son Jesus and everyone else we loved, and we loved you, Jesus. And Father, I pray that we would leave and just enter into this time of worship, focusing in on what you did for us on the cross and what that means for us today. And all God's people said,